Hey Anderson fam, here we are. It's Sunday. We're getting ready to go home tomorrow after the first phase of the Nourish build has completed. And Maddie thought it'd be a good idea if you got a sense of what it is we're actually doing this for. And I'm standing on top of one of our foundations that we poured. You can see the edge form and the shipping container in the back. The shipping container in the back used to sit kind of more or less where our foundation is set up now. And our objective here was to create a new enterprise center, and this was kind of the new gateway. From where we're standing, you can also see the creche, which is a kiddie preschool, and they take kids from 6 months old up to 5 years old. And what's really exciting is the program has now started to turn the kids that have gone through the creche, the preschool, and have now started into primary school and are coming now to the after school program. And so it's kind of made this life cycle, which is pretty awesome. The campus is really rugged in its nature. And so as we kind of move our way through where the containers are, and we're walking through the new cafe area, these two container pods will hold a little tiny coffee shop and a micro bakery, which is jobs for two more or four more people that'll get to have a place of employment as a result of this. So it's pretty impactful. This is their library and computer lab space. It's an awesome building. It's not like anything that we have anywhere at home. It's made of rammed earth, and if Maddie can get in close here, you can see these are all layers. They use literal dirt with lime and cement, and it's heavily compacted and it's formed into a shape. And so it is a rammed earth building. This is the structure to it. It's very eco-friendly because it's just made from dirt, lime, and cement and water. It's very easy for them to do. Over here, this is going to be one of the projects that we work on. This is kind of where the teens come for their after-school program, and the trampoline has been obliterated. This in July, we're going to dig it down a hole and put in a new trampoline for underground work. And so now we're going to kind of wander our way through the bush here. The campus was given to Sarah, who was the founder, on kind of a ground lease with the express intent by the community to create an eco-village. And so this is the manifestation of that. Here is the little tiny soccer pitch for the kids to play on. And over here this is part of their economic model. So this tree is, the leaves on this tree are used for a powder, and so they actually take the leaves, they dry them out, they grind them into a powder, and it grows year-round. It's fenced because on campus here there are two donkeys, Daisy and Danny, and Danny is particularly naughty, and Danny the donkey ate our plants on this trip, but also has jumped this fence many times and eaten these trees, which is a problem. So last year they actually lost quite a bit of income as a result of him eating the trees. Everything on campus is built with leftover parts and pieces. It's a really, really great kind of environment for adaptive reuse in every way imaginable. And so they were doing shipping containers, which is part of the allure to them. The original campus that we had seen had several shipping containers. These tanks, JoJo tanks, they're everywhere here in South Africa. This is their water tank, and they're harvested via rainwater collection. So Nourish has gutters on many of their buildings to help capture and store the rainwater. so that they can use it, because having a well is a luxury that isn't afforded to everybody. This here is another building that they're building as a storage complex, and these are just precast planks. It's a bit rugged. We're not doing this project. You'll see a lot of tires around, because tires typically here are just burned, and so here, this is a recycling center, and so what they're doing is they're harvesting the tires instead of people just burning them, which is bad for the environment, and then they use them as retaining walls, as little micro gardens, things of that nature. This was their little commerce center, which is going to be replaced by the new foundations that we poured, the new enterprise center over there. Here is all of, well, not even all of it, because we had to reuse some of it. Here is a massive amount of the dirt that we had to move by hand as we dug out all of the holes. This is their material storage yard. It's kind of like our yard at the office. It's got all of the leftover parts and pieces, because they're constantly working on little projects.
Not as organized as Bobby keeps ours.
Not as organized as Bobby keeps ours, for sure. For sure. This project here, this we're walking up to, is the Granny's Kitchen. Every day during the week, the grannies are here from the community, and they are cooking the traditional meals of pop, which is like a grits, which is what's eaten breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then some type of topping. Maybe it's beans, maybe it's a little bit of meat, maybe it's a tomato sauce, and so all of the kids, everybody eats from here, and they've had a dirt floor. And so last night, under the cover of darkness, with the little bit of leftover concrete that we had, this was on Nourish's wish list, was a concrete slab for the Granny's Kitchen. And so we were able to do that. We poured the concrete kitchen last night in absolute blackness. We had to pull a truck up to turn the headlights on, and then we had everyone with cell phones standing outside pointing their lights on it, which was it's pretty awesome. It was more awesome to think about it now than it was to do it then. They have a lot of picnic tables. All of the kids, they serve a large contingent of the population is children, and that's really what it's about. Is about creating a sense of understanding for the ecology and the environment. And so the kids, they have them through the creche program and the after school, but also there is an ecotourism element. And so we're going to kind of head our way into there. And so you can see they have a garden. That's the backside of the creche. This is their little coffee shop that they have now, and which is really neat. They pull it out to the main highway for the people headed to Kruger National Park in the morning to grab coffees. So everything's about trying to create an economic opportunity, an environmental impact, all different types of programs that are geared around taking care of this community. And it's really, really neat. If just as I'm staring this way, just beyond me, is the actual community. And it's full of people. And so here, this is really cool. And you can just see the artwork, how spectacular the artistry is here. And this is the Girls Club. And this is where it's a place for the girls young ladies to take care of their sanitary pads. They sew them here as part of the offering to provide that for the community. Paper products aren't what they have, and the ability to flush those. And so those are what are given. And then this is a place for the young ladies to come in privacy and get everything clean and ready for the week and what have you. And our girls that we brought, they worked on a mosaic project with other local girls from inside the community right in here, which was really great. And they also put in this bottle garden. So they use bottles and, you know, everything. This is not Portland, even though there's tents. This is their outside community. They have an ecotourism, and so people come here to volunteer and work in the community, and they can stay, and they have options. You can stay in these tents, and which they have several of them, with little campsites. Quite charming. This is really cool. This is a full functioning bathroom facility that has showers, running water, flushing toilets, and all of the gray water is then pumped into this garden right here. And you can just see it's beautiful. So everything is about, you know, again, the environment, the ecology, again, just spectacular artwork. All kinds of neat buildings, and then they have this over here is, again, some pretty impressive artwork. This is the kitchen. Good morning. How are you? Good. These are the yurts that they have, where you can also stay. And then if you come in here, this is a kitchen made, and the floor is made out of plastic bottle cap tops, which is pretty impressive. So you can see the wall is built out of a variety of just windows and reclaimed elements. But this is a place for, if you're staying here, you can, you know, utilize the kitchen. So as mentioned, you know, look at these really colorful yurts that you can stay at. A little barbecue area.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. We have one of the dogs here on campus that is currently growling at us. I'm not sure why, but they actually have a program for taking care of dogs in particular through a vet share program, and the idea is to get the community members to start to experience what taking care of animals is like, so that they have a better sense of awareness for the wildlife piece of this. And so that's something that's very important. And then this is kind of the fun area. There's a really cool swimming pool over here, so the guests can stay, and it's just a neat place. And then this is the Chick Shack, which is basically like their lounge. They do have Wi-Fi here for their guests and their workers, and then they have a really cool bar. What is super neat, and you can tell just a little bit from right here, is this building is built out of full bottles. It's just made of bottles, and they're all mortared together, and then they've got a skim coat over the top of them. So you can see, actually, here's the top of a Coke bottle, and beyond there you can see they highlighted some of the glass bottles in there. So it's just a really neat way of using what conventionally is trash into recycling it into a functional space. So this is Nourish, and they do amazing work for the community, and we're so excited to be a part of it.